Welcome back to another video from my channel. In today's video I will be teaching you guys how you can build a map art in your survival world. So, as you know, I've been building this massive 2.4 million block map art on my live streams, and there are more and more people asking me how you can make the map art in your own survival world. So let's get straight to it. So first of all, we need to download the application needed to create map arts. And the link is in the description down below. The post on Reddit is called New Map Art Generator for Minecraft 1.14+. Author put together a tutorial, but it's not necessary if you watch this video. You have all the different information here. Here I will be going over it. And here you have a download. You click it and download it. So the program is called Map Generator. And to put in your files, you need to click Browse and find your image. It needs to be a PNG file. And it's best if it is a multiplier of 128. For me, I will be inputting a 128 by 128 image because it's going to be the easiest. Just one map. Okay, and I inputted an image. For me, it is called 2.png. And we have some options. Allow cobwebs. Cobwebs are a unique color. It's not necessary for us right now, so we can ignore this one color. Allow emerald blocks. If you want to, emerald blocks are quite unique in their color, but you don't need them. It's not the end of the world if you don't have emeralds. I personally have emeralds, so I will allow it. Allow golden pressure plate. Gold blocks and golden pressure plates have a unique color, so let's say allow golden pressure plates, we will deal with it later. Allow lapis blocks. If you don't have lapis, disable it. I don't have lapis. Allow water. Water is awful. I don't recommend anyone work with water with map arts. Replace birch logs with diorite. Birch logs and diorite are basically the same. So let's take birch logs. Use dithering. It is trying to make your art make your picture a little bit smoother, but I wouldn't recommend to use it. Height mode. It's basically if your map is 3D or 2D. You can choose between flat or staircases. Staircases are 3D and flat is 2D. If you choose staircases, you have 3 times as much colors to work with. But flat map arts are 4 times less effort. About 4 times less effort. Of course, depending on how diverse is your image. So I will choose flat. Custom output path, let's leave it here. Let's leave it be in my folder. Map, let's call it 2, the same as the file. And we click generate and we get some information. Map art is generating, preview. Yes, we got that. We can close this thing. Actually generated us 2 new folders and 2 new files. This is a file that doesn't interest us, and this is a block list. Grayscale is just going to make your image from black to white, no other colors, so don't use it. Hey, just a friendly reminder, only 1.3% of my viewers are actually subscribed, so if you don't want to miss the future amazing projects, subscribe. Yeah, you know the deal. And in output mode you can select between Minecraft structure, I won't go into details on it. Litematica schematic, that's what we are using. MC edit schematic, don't use it. And map item. Map item is something if you want to play around with creative. But if you wanted to build it in survival, have it physically in your world, choose Litematica schematic. So if we chose everything correctly, we should have two folders right now. Litematics and PNG. So in the PNG folder we have color palette and complete image and section 0.0. If you generate a map art that is 128 by 128 pixels, you will have one section, and if you are generating more than that, it's going to be section 0.1 or 1.0, and I will explain that later on the video. The second folder is more important for us, and it's Litematica folder. You take this file right here, and you need to open your schematic folder, and you do that by going into settings, resource packs, open pack folder. From here you go back to Minecraft and you search for a folder with schematics. As you can see, I have quite a lot of schematics, and I have a folder with all the map arts, and we just move the file from this one to our schematic folder. Right now everything is ready in the out there world. That is all for the non-Minecraft part. Right now we are logging into our Minecraft map testing world. It's best to have a creative test world for map arts. And this is the same Minecraft world that is provided down in the description. Someone created a world with all the colors and what blocks can be represented by those colors. I modified it quite a bit by adding, for example, you don't have to use clay, you can replace it with brewing stands or lodestones. I don't think you will use lodestones, so replace clay with brewing stands if you don't have enough clay for your map art. Another thing that may be annoying for you to get, gold pressure plates are not the same as yellow wool and yellow terracotta and all those blocks right here. Golden pressure plates are unique. Gold pressure plates, gold blocks and bells are all the same color. Diamond blocks unfortunately are not unique. Prismarine bricks, dark prismarine and beacons. For me the cheapest one is definitely beacons. So you can play around with this testing world. So let's move into a different location, somewhere a little bit far away, and let's place our schematic. The default button to put up our menu is M, so we now have a menu, and let's load the schematic. Okay, I am in my folder, so let's go. This is what you will see, and then let's enter our folder with map arts and 29.0.0. Load the schematic. The thing that we need to remember is it needs to be aligned to the grid, and to find the grid you take a map art and go to the top corner. Okay, this is the top corner, and by clicking F3+G you show this chunk grid, go to the corner of the chunk, mark it. So this is this and 8 chunks. We will count now 8 chunks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To look into schematica placement, we need to press M plus P. We configure that, move to a player, and we manipulate it by using left and right click. One block. And as you can see, it should be aligned to a grid right now. Yes, we are in the corner. Oh, turn out I extended our selection by one more chunk, so we need to move it back a little bit. And now it should be aligned to a map grid. Yes. To paste the schematic in Creative, you take your default item. For all of you it's going to be a stick, but I prefer to use arrow. To change it, you go into configuration settings and tool item. For me it's Minecraft arrow, for you it's going to be a Minecraft stick. You press Ctrl and scroll until you get to paste schematic in Word. Now you go to your configuration settings, paste replace behavior. Default is none. All will replace everything, including all behavior is while you praise the schematic. It is going to replace blocks that are supposed to be air in the schematic. If you choose with non-air, it's not going to replace those blocks. So let's use non-air. And the paste shortcut is Ctrl X. Now we have placed the schematic. We can disable the schematic rendering. And we have this beautiful picture. Something that also goes well with map art creation process is voxel map. You can look at your map from the bird's eye view, but we have creative, so this map art looks like this. Yeah. So, but there are a few things that we want to change about it. So at first I didn't select to get rid of cobwebs. So we basically need to run a command, and we will run it using word edit, replace near 100. If you stay roughly in the middle of your map art, it should cover the entire thing. 100 cobwebs, white wool or white stained glass, depends what is cheaper for you. Okay, well, it looks a bit worse, but what you gonna do? Cobwebs are really expensive. So right now we have a problem with golden pressure plates. Let's go back to the middle of our map art and replace golden pressure plates with gold blocks because they are easier to place. Light-weighted pressure plate, gold blocks. Okay, it looks exactly the same. Now we replace birch logs with diorite, exactly the same. and there are several more hard to obtain blocks. You can't unfortunately replace terracotta with anything else because terracotta is unique. And the one thing we can replace is a lantern block. And we want to replace it because it needs a support block. So let's replace lanterns with lantern with grindstone because it has the same exact color. As you can see, the image haven't changed one bit. But if you want to have your map art near your base, I would suggest not doing that because grindstones are more laggy than lanterns, so it is going to create more passive lag. Also, I don't suggest doing the next step because we will be replacing clay with brewing stands. And brewing stands can definitely lag your game, so if you are building the map art near your base, don't do this. Okay, so we basically have our map art ready. We can try to modify it a little bit. As we can see, this white here is a little bit out of place, so we can maybe try to get rid of it by placing light gray wool or diorite. Light gray wool. No, that doesn't look too good. So let's replace the light gray wool with diorite. Okay, it doesn't look that bad. So we would probably do the same for everything here. When we are satisfied with the image, we just select the area with area selection browser, new selection, 29, and we select it by scrolling to area selection, we choose one corner. Also, this doesn't look like we need this here, so let's replace it with prismarine bricks. We choose one corner and the other corner. We go into area selection browser, configure, save schematic, where we want to save it, how we want to name it, and save schematic. And now when we load it, it's going to be exactly the same thing. So when you are building it in survival, you would want to use easy place mode. It is a schematic mode option. And by using it, you can place blocks mid-air, like that. They don't need to be placed onto any other block, you just can place them mid-air. Of course, in survival it's going to drain your resources, and sometimes it can happen if you spam or try to do different action like eating or opening inventory. It can sometimes override the normal block placement. But if you don't want to do this, you can just create a big floor beneath that and go placing blocks onto that floor. like that, by following the grid. Yeah, so this is it. Unfortunately, if you don't want to use client-side modes, you don't really have much of a choice, because you can't really take a thematic. You may be able to create it as a Minecraft structure and build it block by block, but it's definitively not going to be easy for you. Also, in Thematica have a lot of different options like material list. It shows you what you need for the map. As you can see, one map 128 by 128 map is 16,512 items, and it also shows you progress done, missing and mismatched. Don't pay attention to mismatched while building map arts, because it won't affect the map. Because when you build a map art, you're definitely going to one of the grindstone placements wrong. If you replace them, you need to place it like that, but you will probably place it like that, or maybe even like that. It won't affect the final result, but it's going to show us a mismatched block. So don't pay attention to it. So how do we get 128 by 128 images? So first of all, we have to get an image. And it doesn't matter. I personally use Paint 3D. We hit Insert. Let's use this new... let's go to this map art folder. Okay, what we've got here, some memes, some fan arts. Okay, let's use this meme right here. As we can see, we hit crop, and it is cropped to be the size of the image. We cropped the already outline. Okay, done. We hit canvas, and we've got 815 by 535. It is not a multiple of 128, so a multiple for height would be 512. And as we can see, we've got 780, and 780 is not a multiple of 128, as you can see. So the closest thing would be 128 times 6, 128 times 6, and we've got 768. To do it, we unlock aspect ratio and change the Y to 768. And right now this image is 4 by 6 maps. Of course, we don't want to build 4 by 6 maps because it's 400,000 blocks. So let's cut this in half. And by cutting it in half, we've got 256 height, and it will make the width with it. So it is 3 by 2 map art right now. It is still recognizable, and it is probably going to go well in a flat version. We save the image, save changes, save as image, we go to map arts, and we save that as PNG file, because we need PNG files. Okay, insert the lastly path here. Okay, lastly, I will show you my map art collection in my survival world. Just to give you an idea what is possible with it. So, I built a lot of map arts. Right now that I am working on a really big map art, so it's going to be 144 map arts in total for one picture. Oh, I have disabled the tooltips somehow. So far I built 6 map arts, and this is white, just pure white, and these are pure white map art, Pride Mode map art, Looney's channel logo, my channel logo, Coach Lion's channel logo, and pure netherrack map. I also built a 2x3 map art, and it is sometimes really hard to put them all together. And this map art was a congratulation to Looney for reaching 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So you can really create some cool and interesting things with it. And I would really recommend it. Also subscribe if you don't want to miss the reveal of my biggest map art yet. It is 16 by 9 maps, just the same as the video you're watching right now. It's 16 to 9. So don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, visit all my other YouTube channels. Take care, build your map art, and see you on another live stream.